like my internet connection.
Let's go to Instagram.
But my internet connection is always good.
Oh, I gotta start over on Instagram. Live video. I'm live. I'm not.
It's like a weird, choppy 1.5 second delay. It's so weird.
I think I'm live on Instagram. I know.
I mean, sometimes it fixes itself out, but like I don't even know. Whatever. No one even watches.
I don't think they watch it close. Hang on, let me add Instagram. So let me copy this, copy that, do this, get a stream key.
Yeah, we got people watching, but just don't pay attention to my weird delay.
The stream key looks invalid. What? Oh, yeah.
Look, I was watching someone on Twitch and they just started talking. And like I was like, "Who's in my house?"
Who is that? Okay, now, dude, what is somebody's howling outside my window?
Dude, it's so windy here. Like it is insanely windy.
It was windy here yesterday, so it makes sense. It's super windy. It's not windy today. It's still a little chilly, but it's going to be warm this week. So finally.
And Oliver is just being annoying. He keeps wanting to go outside, but like won't do anything and just stands there. And I'm just standing there like with the wind like cutting right through me, you know. And I was in shorts because I was just walking on the treadmill, you know, and like I'm just like, oh my god,
do your thing, do your thing.
He won't. He refuses. Hey, like my connection's better again.
There you go. Speak of Oliver, and it all fixes itself.
Oliver's the man.
Shout out to everybody who is on all the places: William, Andrea, Margie, Andrew,
and your brother-in-law's Hoosiers just took out my Spartans. Like,
no way.
Yeah, it's been a weird Michigan State basketball season. It's all right.
After yesterday's high school game, I can't. We lost like in the last minute. It was bad.
Yeah, well, we had a shot to win the game. Like, we called timeout, down 15 seconds, set up an awful play, it looked like, but whatever. It's fine. It's just sports. I don't care that much.
I do care, and it hurts.
I as I gotten older, I care less and less. But that's like better for my soul, I feel like.
That's way better, because yesterday it was bad. Shout out to Rebecca Speaks, Mercury Waxing, K Cassidy, El Rose 1, Chris USCGA 01, Matt Baxter, RC Kennedy, everybody over on Instagram. We're gonna get going. Jason and Tammy.
I know. I see what Jason's saying, man. The Spartans. I mean, we had big hopes to start the year. This happens. Not to go on this rant, but every year the Spartans are ranked like a top 5 team preseason. Like I know, like we just have this curse with that. Like I'd rather be unranked to start the year, then I know we're making it to the Final Four.
So my Missouri Tigers 0-18 in the SEC. So you got.
Are you kidding? I haven't even noticed that.
We didn't have a game this year, first time ever that we.
I mean, this is not funny, but it kind of is funny though.
I bought the shirt, the tournament sideline shirt. Hang on, I'll show you, because every team will have this on this weekend, right? It's the on court shirt.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. The one they would have worn if they'd have made the tournament. Everybody have like your team will say like Sparty Energy.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Your team has these. The one that will never be worn.
You're the curse. Yeah, my buddy Jake was at the Michigan game today. He's a Michigan fan, so that was kind of fun. Thanks for taking care of that, Wade. Huskers, man, they're gonna win a tournament game this year. I'm telling you.
Rough.
I hope so. This is crazy. I'm going to be in Walt Disney World for like the first 2 weekends of the tournament. That's crazy. I've never have like missed like those games, you know.
You're going to be there for like the first round?
Yes, which is crazy for me. Like that's like that's like my favorite day of the year.
Crazy. I know that is fun when all the games are going on. You will have to go to Rick's or something.
It's my favorite day of the year. I mean, I guess like I'll be there. I'll be home from that Thursday. But I leave Friday, so I'll be like driving and all that. So I'm gonna miss Friday's games. Oh well.
Hey, we got a lot of people in here. Let's get rocking. Let's do this. You don't want to spill the cherry Coke on the board. Here we go. Got to get the music ready. I love the music. It makes me get pumped up for the show. I don't know why it's so dumb. Okay, here we go. Wait, I got too many things going here. I got wires everywhere. I left Pam in charge of that frame. Hopefully I get good news because I want my wall to look like Olivia's. That's my goal. Okay, here we go. And of course, the software is acting up now. Okay, delete this. Everyone spot does this too. If things didn't work today, like it would be a miracle. Let's see, click this. And somebody's yelling literally in my backyard right now. I don't know why they're yelling, but my next door neighbor is yelling. I don't know if he's yelling at his dog or if he's yelling at he doesn't have kids, yelling at his wife. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Okay, hang on. This has been the weirdest day. It's all because of the time change. Sorry about this, everybody. Did I delete that? Jeez, what a mess. Nope. Man. I'm telling you, man, it's like the Twilight Zone. Time changes and everything has gotten messed up today. I thought today was going to be smooth. All right. Let's cross our fingers here.
Hopefully you'll have Pam or Ricky tomorrow because, like, we have conferences, just FYI. Like,
cool. I hope so. Yeah.
Right after school. I mean, right after work, so.
In a couple of weeks, I got to do it on a Tuesday instead of a Monday because Mallory's got NHS ceremony, like on that Monday night. No, it's a cheerleading banquet. The NHS things, that is this Tuesday. That's Tuesday. I can't keep track. All this stuff starts happening at the end of the year. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Night Live call-in show. It's not the Oscars. It's the BOGP open line with Mike and Scott for Sunday night, March 10th, 2024. We're going to be taking your calls for the next hour at 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. It's our little version of March Madness. Michigan in Missouri, having a good time talking with you. You drive the conversation for the next hour. We're going to have a great time talking Disney Cruise Line, Disneyland, Walt Disney World, whatever you want. It is your call because it's your show. So joining me tonight, as always, your friend and mine, hashtag Scotty G. How about that funky bass line? Scott, what's going on?
I was about to say, man, I'm really digging the funky tunes to kick off our Sunday night here. It's weird. It's like, I don't know. Are we recording like an hour later or something today? Because there's sunlight still coming into my office here.
It's so screwed up because this is that show. Like when we're done, it's still light outside. And like I said, like we're in the pre-show for those people that are hearing this on Thursday, people are yelling because it's the middle of the afternoon. It feels like outside my window. I don't know what's going on.
I'm not a fan of daylight saving. We just need to just set the clock and not change it again. But leave that for another day. But yeah, happy to have some extra sunlight. I will say that for sure. So it always makes me in a happy mood. And we got the sun actually shining today, which is a rare thing this time of year in East Lansing, Michigan. So yeah, happy to spend some time with you on the Sunday. Maybe we'll take some calls, talk some Disney and all that, and should be a fun hour, Mike.
Yep. This is the show where it is up to you, the listener, to drive the conversation at 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. You can give us a call and you will be on the air talking about whatever is on your mind. We had some release of Disney Treasure merchandise this week. We saw a lot of people get excited about that. I'm trying to think what else was in the news.
I'm excited for some spring break. Magic Kingdom extended hours. So like, all along, I've been looking at these hours, and they're like 9 to 9. Animal Kingdom, like 9 to 5 or whatever. It's like finally they released some spring break hours. So Magic Kingdom will be opening till 11 every night that I'm there, which is good. I missed the good old days of like the 1 and 2 a.m.s, but I will take 11 p.m. because it is fun, Mike, to close down Magic Kingdom. As we were kind of talking about on the Friday episode, we're talking about like the nighttime stuff at Magic Kingdom. So excited to spend some nighttime at Magic Kingdom. Super late.
Well, plus I got to say too, one of the things, and we could talk about this too, how many people have these kind of things sitting around in their house. I don't know what you were doing this weekend, but you were pulling out all kinds of like old memoirs, like old artifacts from trips gone by, from days gone by. And you were like texting us and you were posting some on Instagram and stuff like that. Earlier today, I believe, as we're recording, you posted some Disney's Magical Express luggage tags, the old yellow stickers that you put on your bags before you left home, so that they would magically show up in your hotel room. I think they're for Coronado Springs. We're actually headed here later.
I know. How ironic was that?
Oh, on your bag. Maybe it'll work. I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe what I was doing was some office cleaning. So our office, like, I don't know. You got junk drawers, Mike? So like in my desk in the office, you know, it's got like these 4 big drawers and like stuff just compiles over the years. Like as a Disney Vacation Club member, I get that awesome magazine, the Disney Files. I've kept every single one since we've been a member. And it's just like stacking up. And I was like, you know what? Like I never read these, but I don't want to toss them.
Yeah, stuff like this.
Yeah.
Disneyland Hotel map.
Yeah, exactly.
My first trip, sticker for the laptop that I don't have anymore. Yeah.
I found something. I sent it to Beth and Ricky. I had 10 park maps from Animal Kingdom's 20th anniversary. Why did I have 10 of those? Like, it's rude for me to like hoard that, but like, why did I take 10? Like, and it's just the things I found my pins from the Coronado Springs when they were doing the construction. Remember, like they give you those pins.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have about 3 sets of those.
Yeah, I know. I have like a couple
sets. Like in Hardhead. They must, because it was a long time to build that tower. Yeah,
I found a Tables in Wonderland card that was like pristine. Like it's like I don't know if I like ever used it, which I find impossible. I remember once I lost it or like I forgot to bring it on a trip. So I wonder if that was the one that I lost. I just had it sitting in a drawer, Mike. My favorite though, actually I had so many favorites. I didn't even send you like even close to that many of them. Was this pin? It was an NBA experience pin of the Detroit Pistons. Man, that one cracked me up. I loved it.
You know what though? That thing is, and Ricky, she's all about, Ricky doesn't waste any time with like any other text other than she gets down to the brass tacks in a text thread. She's like, that's worth money. Like, dude, it was like 3 words. That's worth money.
That's funny.
And it probably is, though, because the experience is gone. Like, I mean, it's it's very specific to the time.
Yeah. But I kept it. So we ended up getting a giant bin for me to just store this stuff because it doesn't need to sit in the office, but I didn't want to get rid of it, So lots of park maps. Countless numbers of scavenger hunt maps at Epcot, where you do like the Figment one over Festival of Arts or the Remy one over Food and Wine. I mean, so many of those maps, and it was just fun to look through. And it's things like I don't want to part with yet, but I don't want them sitting in the office desk, So they got put into a bin. They're downstairs, and it'll be a fun memory like 5 years from now when I bring them back up again.
Here's what I smell. I smell, and you're creative, but I think Elizabeth is super creative. A shadow box. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a shadow box in the office of all artifacts that are no longer around, and then you could, maybe make it so you could pop it open, and as things, you could add as things. Hopefully, things will get taken away, but they will.
Right.
Things change.
I mean, even like a park mat could be so different, right? Like, yeah. So, but fun to look at, definitely, and that can make for a good podcast episode, Mike, where we just grab our random old like tote box or whatever stuff, and we like go over it. Like, how awesome would that be?
That's so much, and it's amazing. Like because when I say I'm talking about our listeners, all of us in here tonight. We got tons of people tuned in tonight. So again, you give us a call 474-139-9395. Get in on the conversation, but we're all so close to it that we don't even realize how much changes from year to year, because a lot of us go more than once a year and we're so close to it that it's like, wow, we didn't even realize that was gone. Like, it's like the frog in the boiling water. You just don't notice it, and like all of a sudden you're cooked. Like, if you go once every 5 years, you notice it, right? Because there's huge changes between trips, but like, it's very gradual for folks like us. So it's super interesting. Yeah. That pin though, it really got me
One of my favorite things were the pins. I have so many great pins because, like, I like to buy a pin at the resort or like if it's like during a festival or whatever. So many great pins, and we have a cool tack board in our office. And so it's kind of like the medals in a way. Like, I feel like with the Run Disney medals, like I have so many of them, and not that that's a bad thing, but it's like, how do I display them? Like, do I display them all like on some giant like curtain rod, or do I like bring them in and out like on a couple racks? And that's kind of what I've been doing lately, just interchanging them a lot. And I feel like I have to do that with my pins, because I've had the same pin sitting on this tack board for at least 8 years. And like, I want to see some of the other pins, but then part of me is like, well, maybe they're valuable and I don't want to like take them out of the packaging. You know what I mean? Like, but am I ever really going to sell them? Like, I don't know. I probably won't.
I'm an enjoy the things kind of person rather than
Exactly.
like keep things in a box like collectors. But I don't collect
Right.
anything really. And I'm in the middle of like a project on my wall. I'm calling it my Olivia's wall, which I'm not going to get into tonight because I spent the last hour and a half trying to do step one of this, and I've almost lost my mind because
I'm excited for the Olivia's wall. Like I want to do,
dude, it's gonna be sweet. Like it's gonna be my little tribute to Olivia's, but it's tribute to the 15 years of it'll be 16 years here in a couple weeks, but the podcast.
Yeah.
It's gonna be cool.
Like, I kind of want to do that. I want to like just take family photos of like all my friends that I've met like through like Disney friends and just hang them up like in the office.
Yep.
Like how fun would that be? Like
Maybe I'll share it at the end of the show because I want to keep this for our listeners. But yeah, but the centerpiece that I have didn't work out as smoothly as the Amazon review, of course. And I was waiting forever for this, but we have our first call. We're headed up to the greater Chicagoland area where my daughter, actually, I just saw in front of my friends, is pretty close to you. She's actually out shopping at the Chicago outlets kind of near you, Mark Yerkes. What's up?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Good to talk to you. What's going on?
I've got a bad connection, so let me know if you cannot hear me.
You sound better than ever, actually, tonight.
Okay. Well, I can't hear you very well, but that's all right. I can hear it.
I'll yell.
So I want to talk about Disneyland if I can.
Hey, always go.
So I'm thinking about May possibly, and I'm thinking about like 3 park days, so 5 days total. You know, travel on the front end and back end. Would you stay within the weekdays and avoid the weekend then?
Absolutely, if you can. Yeah, I would. Scott?
Yeah, I absolutely would. I mean, it's a locals park, so you'll see a lot of locals like come in like after the work hours and like you'll start feeling busier, but like on the weekends, like I mean, it's game over. Like, I mean, there's like locals all over the place. So I mean, it's not like it's unmanageable because like the locals like to just kind of hang out there. They're not necessarily like in lines taking up space there, but it does feel more crowded. So I would definitely go weekdays.
Yeah, they go to the restaurant.
If you can make it work.
Dinner there. Like that's where they go for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right. And then the other big question I have is I've seen some reference to they still have park reservations. Is that true for an on-site guest?
They do. They have reservations for everybody still. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I would have to do that ahead of time.
Yep. It's 120 days. This is when you can make those.
Do they have because I would do the hopper, obviously. Do they have like a hopper time?
Yep. It's it's 11 o'clock there though. So it's really early. So boom. I mean, it's all of a sudden you ride a couple rides and you can hop. So it's really, you know, it's less restrictive than Walt Disney World was.
Okay. But do you still have to, if I pulled a Ricky and went in at, noon, do I still have to go to the original reservation park first? Just check in and then turn around and walk back out?
Yeah. But I mean, you could do it in 5 minutes.
yeah, right. It's just a walk, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a pain in the butt, but I mean it's not bad. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna have to contact my travel agents here in a couple days probably and see what can be arranged.
I know one if you need one. I know one.
Mike, should we share the bad news of Mark though about Disneyland?
I mean, I didn't know there was any bad news about it, but go ahead.
But that there's like no place to really go fishing.
That's true. I didn't think about that. So yeah, you go to the ocean. You could, the ocean.
That's true. That's true. You just can't fish at Disneyland.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Not many boats.
That's why I figured I might sleep in and actually just like do the Ricky thing and end up just walking into the park at noon.
You could though. You could ride a canoe though. I mean, come on now. You got to do the canoes.
Mark, there's no sleeping in though. Coming from Chicago, you're going to be up like so early.
You are. You're going to be wired.
Oh, I know. Yeah. That's the other weird thing that I've been finding though too is as I was kind of starting to look at it again, and I've been there before. I was 2019, I think, is when I was there. There's not that many nonstop flights from Chicago to LA, which is just strange to me.
Yeah, from St. Louis, it's mostly. Now, I did catch nonstops there and back last time when I went in. When did I go? For January. But most of the time, you have to catch a quick connection either through Denver, Phoenix, or Vegas. Those are the 3 places.
Yeah, I mean, I could do Southwest. I think they've got 3 or 4, which is odd, right? There's like 9 or 10 daily nonstop flights from Chicago to Orlando, and only like 3 or 4 to LA. Delta does not fly nonstop from Chicago. United has like 2, every day. It's just odd that there's fewer options for flights.
Yeah, and LAX, that's a big airport.
Yeah, out of Chicago. That's surprising. I've actually driven to Chicago to fly to LA. I'm not even kidding.
I'm gonna hear Scott one day. Scott's back. I drove to Atlanta to fly to Orlando.
Yeah. Because it was
out so far.
It was a $59 flight for each of us. I mean, and I just crunched. I mean, it was like whatever. Ironically, it was a Tuesday morning flight. The Lions played Monday Night Football, and I watched the Lions, and then I had like 30 minutes left. I was like, well, we got to drive to Chicago because it was a 5 a.m. flight. So I did not even go to bed.
Oh, jeez.
And the Lions won that football game, just FYI.
I did actually start thinking about that, and I thought, well, all right, where would I end up? I'd have to go to Indianapolis or Minneapolis or something, and probably not worth it.
Yeah.
No, it sounds like a good trip there to go in May in the middle of the week. I mean, that's pretty good timing to go. The weather will be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Fly out on a Sunday, do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in the parks, and then fly back on Thursday.
Maybe the White Sox will be in town, and you can catch them at Angel Stadium. That'd be kind of
cool. Ooh, I didn't think of that. That's a good option, and that would be a reason to extend by a day too.
Yeah,
exactly.
Or I mean, I can't believe how close. I didn't realize Anaheim Stadium was that close when we ran the half marathon. I mean, you're only 2 miles from the finish line, and that right by the park. But like we went to the Dodgers game, and that wasn't too far either. And like, I mean, Angel Stadium's okay, but like, God, I mean, for a baseball fan to go to a game at Dodger Stadium was awesome. That place is gorgeous. And I mean, I was watching the Dodgers and the Rockies. The Rockies are like trash, but like I had a Dodger dog, and I was looking out over the mountains and sunset. I was like, oh my God, I've listened to so many Dodgers games on the radio my whole life. I was like, this is heaven. I was just like, I'm at Dodger Stadium, man. I couldn't believe it. It was so cool.
It's still baseball in the summertime.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I say. And I'm like, I am sitting at Dodger Stadium eating a Dodger dog, and later on I had ice cream and a helmet. I was like, this is the bomb. It's the best.
Too funny.
Extend.
Thanks for the help. I'll be in touch, Mike.
Yep. Yeah. Give me a holler.
Hey, Mark, quick question. Are you only looking at Midway, or do you look at both Chicago airports, just out of curiosity?
Well, so if I'm going to do Southwest, it's Midway.
Gotcha.
And that's the one that's obviously more convenient for me. But I can do O'Hare, and that's, like I said, I was looking maybe Delta, United, or American. That would be out of O'Hare.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's just like crazy because like Chicago is such a huge city. I thought there would be more options there for you. That's kind of nuts. But
right, that's what I thought. I thought, okay, if I look at O'Hare, I'm going to have a ton of options, and it's the nonstops that they don't do. I don't know why. And the last thing I want to do is fly from Chicago to Atlanta or Baltimore before flying all the way across the country.
See, my rule is I got to be going like I do not want to I want to be aimed at the direction I'm headed. Like, I don't mind like if I have to stop in Denver, Phoenix, or Vegas because I'm going that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to backtrack. I know that it totally makes sense, but yeah, that's just me. It's another one of my things. Anyway, well, hey Mark, take care and give me a yell.
All right.
All right.
Good.
Talk to you later.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
have a good night.
You too,
buddy.
All right, 474139395 means phone lines are open. When somebody drops, that means the line is open for you. So we had a question from Steve in the chat. Actually, in the chat. How do extended hours work for deluxe guests? Is it every day, all parks, or certain parks? And how do they know? I'm staying at Yacht Club in September, just wondering how it works. So Scott, again, kind of just, some nights they have these, not every night, and they know by your magic band or your little room key, they can scan and see where you're staying, and you can see the schedule online as to when they have it.
Perfect answer. Yeah, just your best bet is just to go to waltdisneyworld.com, just go to the website and look at kind of those hours. I don't know if they'll have those dates that far out, like for September. But I will say I've done these deluxe extended hours events, and they are great. Definitely highly recommend it. I love the parks at night too. I know you do too, Mike. So it's fun, lower crowds. Some parks obviously work better than others. Like Epcot is so big. Like if you want to do like Ratatouille and do like Soarin', like that's a hike there, right? Like big time gaps. But the ones at Magic Kingdom are obviously really, really great too. All of them are fine, but yeah, just look at the website and you can get more details there when they're announced.
All righty. And Thomas Perk, big friend of the show, says, just listen to the Friday show. Not sure if anyone has already said this, but Magic Kingdom is also a no-fly zone per the FAA. So even if Disney drones even Disney drones aren't allowed. Plus, Disney doesn't like the idea of drones flying over guests from backstage to the castle. So yes, and I think we kind of said that Disney is very conservative on the safety of their guests when they talk about the 5 keys that they take as a company, as far as safety and show and all that stuff. Safety is the first one. And so that they don't want to donk a guest with a drone or anything like that. So that is true. And it is a no-fly zone. So I guess I didn't know that part though, Thomas, that drones flown by the company at that kind of an altitude would constitute a violation of the no-fly zone. But I guess it would. I mean, I could see where if anybody else was flying a zone, it would violate the no-fly zone. So I guess if Disney's flying it, it might not be any different. I just thought maybe they would be an exception to their own filed a no-fly zone. You with us, Scott? I know you're wiggling around there. Did you lose us? Oh, we lost your mic. You're muted. We lost Scott's audio. Maybe come out and come back in. We'll see what happens.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, now you're back. Now he's back.
I feel like I'm on a work call when you said that.
Okay, no.
Yeah. That is a goal of mine. Like I try to shoot like 98% where like I'm talking and I'm unmuted. That's hard to do at work in the society we live in now. So I
never get to do that. I always hear about like the business people. Like I've never been a business person in my life, and like all the memes and stuff. Like
I hate being in meetings where someone says, "Hey, you're muted."
Exactly.
So I try to not be that guy, but I just was that guy in the podcast.
Like,
That's
he's
awesome.
a meme. He's a meme.
Yeah. But no, what? Just some behind the scenes here. My microphone just fell off. Just fell right off the desk.
There you go. Well, that's Ricky 6 times a show, but it's because
exactly. Honestly, as I was scrambling to fix all this, I was thinking like, "Oh my gosh, I'm Ricky right now." I'm like,
well, I was thinking you were Ricky. Exactly. Well, hey, we're on the same.
And then what's worse, I went to go plug in, and like it got super touchy. Like I couldn't find the right setting. Like it wasn't working. So like if I turned bright red on the feed, that's why.
You're so Ricky. And we thank Thomas for that feedback because we didn't know that. All right, we have our next call on the line. Hey, who's joining us tonight? Sorry.
Hey, this is Andrew from Louisville, Kentucky.
Hey, Andrew, is your mic going to stay solid for us, or are you going to have your mic fall off on us? We don't know.
We'll find out.
Good. Hold tight. What's going on?
So the reason why I'm calling is I'm registered for the Halloween race in Disneyland in September.
Correct.
And I'm considering doing Wine and Dine to get the Coast to Coast in November.
Sounds like a plan.
November.
Yes.
So my question is, it'd be a really short trip, basically, I think right now from like Friday to Monday. And I was thinking about going to the parks on Saturday and Sunday. Would it be cost effective to just do a single park day for those 2 days?
So now we're talking Disneyland in September?
No, well, Disneyland's already taken care of. I'm talking about Disney World in November.
Disney World. Let me just give you the lowdown, and then Scott can back me up on this or disagree, whatever he wants. I'm gonna give you my feedback on Wine and Dine at Disney World.
Okay.
There's a couple reasons I stopped doing Wine and Dine. One, and I've said this, it's a super busy time of the year for me. The one thing that I like as much, if not more, than Disney's football. And Mallory's a high school cheerleader, and so I go to her football games, and I've run into complications. There's always a big football game that weekend that I miss, and we're season ticket holders for Mizzou. So I've just kind of written that off for the next couple of years. But also the crowds in the theme parks that weekend, because it tends to be Jersey week, which is like the whole state of New Jersey. Like the kids get off school, the teachers are, I don't know if the teachers supposed to be in meetings, but I guess they skip their meetings. I don't know, man. It's everybody. There's a lot of people there. And so the crowds are really big. It's usually kind of towards right at the end of Food and Wine. All the locals are trying to get their last taste. You could, definitely go to the parks, but just know that the crowds are going to be big. So you might not get as much done in one day as you think. You know, it's
So-
not going to be like a quick, get 25 attractions in. Scott, what do you think?
So Andrew, it sounds like you're not an annual pass holder, right? So you're asking if you should get these single day tickets. Yeah. So I would recommend getting a single day ticket for Saturday, and don't get one for Sunday, because when you do wine and dine, you actually get like an after party ticket for Epcot. And so that's part of your race registration. And I think they let you in at like 4 or something. I could be wrong on that. Maybe Wade or someone in the chat can tell me, can
I
confirm
forgot
with
about
that.
that.
So like you're actually like getting a good value there, like with a theme park ticket with your race registration for wine and dine. So I would say go for buying the Saturday ticket, have fun, enjoy it. Yeah, the crowds will be kind of busy, but like, I mean, you're there like celebrating, getting your coast to coast and all that. So buy the Saturday ticket, and then I would just kind of chill after the race on Sunday, relax, maybe go to Disney Springs or something, and then go over to Epcot if that's where you want to go. But that's a really cool party, and it's part of the perk of doing wine and dine. So I think that would be the way to go. Just buy the one ticket for Saturday.
That's a good point. That's the right answer. I forgot, because that's the only race that comes with a park admission is a party perk. Yeah.
Now it's later in the day. I think the party officially starts at a certain time. It's kind of like how you see like the Not So Scaries and those other parties, but I think they'll let you in a little earlier. I don't know the exact time though.
Yep, that's a good perk.
And so if you're only going to do one day park on Saturday, what park would you go to?
I would avoid Epcot.
Well, because
Saturday. I'd avoid Epcot on Saturday.
Yeah, but Andrew would probably be going to Epcot anyway on Sunday for the party. So I think that's the good call.
I'd do any of the other ones.
I like Magic Kingdom for Saturday personally, but
yeah. I mean, but if you're like a Star Wars fan, I wouldn't shy away from Studios or if you're an Animal Kingdom fan.
Right.
I'd do any of the other three.
Well, especially if you're going to be at Disneyland like a couple months before, like maybe because you did the parks there, like maybe doing an Animal Kingdom, something a little bit different than what you would see at Disneyland might be a good option too.
Okay.
Sounds like a good time, man.
I'm excited. Coast to coast, man. I love that other coast to coast medal. I wish there's a way I could still technically get another coast to coast, but I just don't think it's going to be in the cards this year. But that's going to be great for you, Andrew. I love it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it depends on whether I actually get into wine dine on a Tuesday, but I want to leave right before I bit the bullet and spend money on a race and be up a creek without a paddle when it comes to everything else. But
exactly.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
That's what I was just gonna say. Get in the race, and then we'll talk next Sunday. Like don't stress yourself out yet. But yeah, we'll cross our fingers for you on Tuesday. We'll get you in. You can have my slot, and we'll run those races. We'll get you those medals. Then we'll worry about getting you in the parks and having the fun. Next Sunday, we'll talk about it. We'll see we'll get the plans all laid out. We'll get you some ADRs too. And Wade up in Nebraska says 5 p.m. to get into that party with that ticket.
Okay.
All right. Hey, we'll have a good week. Thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
You too.
All right.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
I mean, that's the best value of any Run Disney event. I mean, that you actually like, for someone that isn't an annual pass holder, like in Andrew's case, like you get granted, you might want to go into the park earlier, but you can I love like relaxing, going to Disney Springs, hanging out at the pool, getting some lunch or whatever, and then going into the park at 5 for the party is perfect. It goes to 1 a.m.
I agree. That party was fun. But the party
was so much fun.
The party was more fun. And again, I shouldn't say this kind of stuff, but I enjoyed the party more like when the race ended there at night.
Oh, I did too.
Straight into the party. Everybody stunk. It was just a different feel, right? I mean, everybody was still like sweaty and like it was wild. Like it was a true after party. Like everybody was, some people changed clothes, some people didn't. Like
it was a great race weekend because it was all in one day. Because the 5K was that morning too, like the jingle.
I forgot about that. It was crazy.
You could leave work. Yeah, you could take Friday off essentially. Like if you're coming from Michigan or Missouri, whatever. So take one day off of work and like do all the stuff on Saturday. Come home Sunday. Like you take one day of PTO or maybe like a half a day. Like come in later on that Friday afternoon or something. Like and you could just knock out a 5K. A half marathon and the after party all in one day, man. It was epic.
I just remember that one time though, it was super hot and humid. I think it might've been the first year of it. You were getting your gear bag after the half marathon, like before the party. So like it was in the World Show place. It's like where they had the gear check. 2 people passed out, like because it was after the race, but like in a line because it was like in that bubble and it was hot in there, and like 2 people just down that passed out because it was so hot and they just run 13 miles. Oh man, it was super. Oh man,
And I love the challenge. I mean, I understand what Run Disney's doing. Like the 10K challenge is fun and all that, but like there was something just like so unique about that race weekend with the night race, the 5K that morning, and like you could do it like if you were a local, like you wouldn't even have to take any time off work, because it was all done like on a Saturday. Like, oh man, it was perfect, Mike. It was perfect.
It was crazy. It was like it was like they're making it up as they went back then. It's almost blue collar, right? It felt like let's try this. Like, I don't know what we're doing. Let's do a race at night. Let's start at everybody show up at 10. We'll go at 10. Maybe 10:30.
And what's nuts, thinking back, my first 2 Run Disney events were night races. Like I did the Expedition Everest, and then my next one was the Wine and Dine like night race. So I was like, this is awesome. Like I'm doing all these races at night.
And the first 3 Terror 10 milers were the bomb when those were great races.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rebecca Speaks on Facebook says, going to have one day with some coworkers before meeting in Orlando to visit Walt Disney World. What park would you recommend for a group of coworkers with some big Disney fans and first timers? Is this not Epcot when you have?
It's 100% Epcot. There's no other answer. I mean, to me, it's Epcot because I think coworkers, I think it's a great social way because like you can walk World Showcase because you're going to want to like do some walking and talking with your coworkers, maybe stop by and get a cocktail if that's something that interests you. I know with my coworkers, they would like that. But yeah, I think it's the perfect thing. And then you're talking about there's some big Disney fans too, because there's some great Disney stuff in there too, like with IP even. Like you can go through like the new water feature, I think is fantastic. You got Remy, you got Frozen. I think it's a great mix of just adult time with coworkers and getting like that Disney bug in there too. So I think that's the perfect park.
I agree. And so does Mallory Miller over on Facebook. Not my Mallory, but Mallory Miller. All right. Another question. This one's for you, Scott, because actually I have to admit I have registered for Dopey 2025 already. I have committed to my charity and I am in for one more running it back one more time, even though I said I wasn't going to. We'll see. Run Disney question from Troy over on Facebook. Any tips on registering for my first race, the Wine and Dine 5K this Tuesday at 10 o'clock a.m.? Would like to register both me and my spouse.
Yeah, we get this question quite a bit, don't we, Mike?
But you did
congratulations though on like looking for this. Like I'm excited for you, Troy. This is gonna be great. I love that Wine and Dine 5K. Just recommend like kind of logging in a little early, making sure that if you haven't done Run Disney before, making sure you have a user ID, like create a login. Which I don't know about you, Mike. I think mine is like my normal like Disney login for Run Disney.
They finally, I think, have started to consolidate them. Like from
because I think it used to be different, didn't it?
Like if you had a fantasy football team, like with ESPN, like it's that. Like,
well, that's my login is S Gardner ESPN because it was from like when I did fantasy football in the early 2000s.
Mine's my Flowtown Ballers football team. That's my team.
Yeah, but yeah. So log in. Make sure you logged in early and you got like multiple browsers open. I'd say like maybe around 9:20 Eastern time. Because they say 10 o'clock, but sometimes they'll release the registrations early. So just be on the lookout for your browsers to be going and all that. And eventually they'll put you in a queue. When you're in a queue, that's when you got to stop hitting the refresh button because it's going to kind of kick you out and put you in a new queue. So once you see that you're assigned like a time limit, it'll say like, you have 42 minutes until you'll kick you out or whatever. Don't hit refresh. Like just go with it. And sometimes and you'll see this, Mike, that number drops like pretty quickly too. Like it'll be 42 and then 2 minutes later it might be like
don't
28.
Go walk the dog. Like don't try to watch and go walk a dog for 48 minutes. Like it could jump like for sure jump down to 28 minutes in like 2 minutes. Yeah,
for sure. So here's where it gets tricky though. Once you're actually in, you put in your information, the register yourself, you put in like your shirt size, your personal information and all that. And then it's like, do you want to add another registrant? And that's where it gets tricky. Like you can proceed and boom, quick, be done with yours and then start the process again for your spouse. Or do you want to just do it all in that one swoop and take that chance that, the registrations might be closed and then have to go through a new queue. So it's kind of risky. I'd like to just still do it all in one transaction. Like once you're in there, I think you're going to be fine for the 5K. Don't mark my words or anything on that. But I think once you're in there, fill out your information, and then you can add another person to register. And then that's when you add your spouse and then you do final payment for all of you. That's how I would do it.
That's exactly, yeah. That's what I would do too. And that way,
That's what I do with my daughter because I register my daughter all the time. I just try to do it all on one there. Sometimes I got Mike on there too.
If you're, and I appreciate you because you do that a lot. Plus, if you're doing it with your spouse, right? You don't want one in, one out. That's the word, right? You don't want like, okay, sorry, you gotta stay home. Or
I feel like you got to get shut out for both, or you're both in. Like, there's no like half and half there.
Exactly. That's just not. That's
good call, Mike.
Exactly. I got it real quick. I mean, we have record numbers watching for the long. Like we've had. I mean, this for years. We haven't had this many people tuned in. So shout out to everybody who's tuned in tonight. We appreciate you guys, and give us a call 407-413-9395. Discord. We have had over 500 people join us on our Discord channel over the past week, and it's been amazing. The conversations over there. We've been talking, Scott knows, we've been talking ADRs. We've been talking background loops. The conversations, we're talking stuff that's not Disney to stuff that we traveled to. We're talking cruises. We're talking port adventures. We're talking life over there. We're just having a good time. Everybody's meeting each other. We're talking about going to Frankenmuth for a BOGP meetup in Michigan at some point. It's an amazing, it feels like, again, this was kind of the goal that I wanted. I didn't think it would happen this quickly. Like the old message boards we used to have like a decade ago, back in the day before Twitter and Facebook took over. So I just want to thank everybody who came over and joined us on Discord. If you haven't, beourguestpodcast.com, just scroll down to the widgets, hit join Discord, join us on Discord, and just boom, you're right there. But it's been amazing. So if you haven't, come on over. But we have a call coming in, but one of the things that they wanted us to talk about tonight was when cast members have made magic for us on trips. We have some examples over on the Discord channel, which we'll bring up here in just a second. But let's get to this call and then we'll do that. But hey, caller, what's going on? Thanks for calling in.
Hi there. This is Amy from Idaho.
Hey, Amy out in Idaho. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, I talked to you guys last fall, I think, when we were planning our winter trip. We talked a little bit about rodeo and about recommendations for our New Year's trip. So I thought I'd give just a quick couple of highlights from that trip.
Hey, always. Well, how'd it go? Let's hear.
It was awesome. Yeah, it was really good. So we did a split stay between Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom Lodge and Boardwalk on rented points for all three of those. And now we're in the process of buying a resale contract for Boardwalk. So it clinched the deal that Boardwalk was where was the one that we loved. So
nice.
I mean, nothing against Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom Lodge, because those are both amazing, but we got to Boardwalk and we were like, oh yeah, we remember why we always try to stay at Boardwalk. So
I'm thinking 3 words here: location, location, location.
That's it. Yep. So the way it worked, because of how long we were there, we got to hit the late night deluxe hours at Epcot twice. And I have 2 teenagers and an 8-year-old. And so my husband stayed with the 8-year-old and, went to bed early. And I took the teenagers and we went and did Guardians of the Galaxy, both of those 2 deluxe hours. So that was really fun. It was our first time doing Guardians, and I think we rode it 6 times. Because each day that we were in Epcot, we did individual Lightning Lane and the whatever the other one.
The virtual queue. The VQ.
The VQ.
The virtual queue. There you go.
And that's one of the things I just mentioned in the Discord. We have had long conversations on the Discord about the good and the bad about virtual queues this week. It's been fun.
Yeah, I missed it one morning for Tron. But other than that, we got it. So Tron and Guardians were both new to us, but we loved Guardians. And we kept trying to get my 8-year-old on it. She was staunchly anti-roller coaster, anti-thrill ride on this trip. Last trip 2 years ago, she rode everything. And this trip, she was not going. So Avatar is her favorite movie. She loves Avatar. She watches both of those movies, even though they're 3 hours long. She watches them all the time. But we got there. She went on Flight of Passage once and refused to do it again. So we kept trying to convince her that she would love Guardians, because we thought that she really would. And so we went on it 5 times, and every time she said, nope, not going on it, not going on it. And so then the 6th time, our very last time riding it, she finally agreed to do it. And we got off and she said, I love that ride. When are we doing it again?
Oh, okay. Two things there. It's so funny how kids go through that. Like they'll ride it, then they get to that age where they won't, and then they'll ride it again. Right. It's like, it is weird. The psychology of kids, like right at that 7, 8, 9, like they get freaked out for just like a little, couple, like year or two. And
that was
then,
with Tower of Terror for sure.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Then they're fine. But then, that's the worst though, is like when at the very end of the trip, they're like, I love it now. I want to do it 10 times. Like, dude, we're leaving this afternoon. We won't be back for 2 years. We dummy. You know, it's like, what are you doing?
I know. Exactly. I don't know when you'll get to ride it again, but not today. That's for sure. Anyway, it was funny. And my older kids too, they've always said, oh, we're not thrill ride junkies. We don't like, my 15-year-old who's a bull rider says, I'm not an adrenaline junkie. So they're like, no, we don't care about the thrill rides. And we did one day at SeaWorld, and my husband was like, I guess I'll have to go on all the thrill rides by myself. And it's, well, we'll go on one with you. And then next thing you know, they're going on every single thrill ride with them. And they were mad that we hadn't planned more than one day because they didn't get to go on everything. So I don't know. Kids are unpredictable.
So real quick, how was SeaWorld though, just for like the thrill ride kind of, because I know it's not like a theme park, it's more like an amusement park, but what was that like for somebody? Because you're with kids your age.
Yeah, they loved it. They were, like I said, they thought they didn't like thrill rides, and it turns out they love thrill rides. So they had a blast. We got there first thing in the morning when it first opened, rope drop training. And we got on, like, for the first 2 hours, it was a breeze. And this was a day after Christmas. Or no, 2 days after Christmas. Anyway, it was that crazy week, right? When everything is busy. And we didn't buy the front of the line pass or anything because it was like $60 a person. But those first 2 hours of the day, they could basically walk on whatever they wanted. So they did as many thrill rides as they could get in. One thing that I really appreciated about SeaWorld was, and this may be true, I haven't been to Universal or the other real big thrill ride parks enough, but they always had a little thing for younger kids right there close to the thrill rides. So there was some sort of walkthrough exhibit or aquarium or different kinds of things. So it made it easy for me to take the 8-year-old and go do that stuff while they did the thrill ride. So I really appreciated the way they planned that out.
That's super smart. I didn't know that. I mean, that's very smart.
I didn't either. Yeah. So, but it went well. And then we also did both Roundup Rodeo Barbecue and Hoop-de-Doo, which were both new to us. So, it was heavy on the campy barbecue kind of style for us this trip, but we loved both of those, especially Hoop-de-Doo is definitely a new favorite for our family. So, but it was just a great trip. It was a fun to do those late nights. We also did the late nights at Magic Kingdom with the teenagers one night, and it was just fun to kind of to build those memories with them and just go just the three of us and just get on as many things as we could, and so we had a great time. So
let me ask you, and I can tell you did because you're still excited about it, and this was 3 months ago. I can hear it in your voice. Like that's why I love being able to have this show, to be able to share stories like this, because everybody's hearing this, and I think a lot of folks are going to smile just hearing your excitement. But let me ask you this: so was there any? Because this is what I'd ask you if you were on a Monday show at the end of the show. This is always my get you at the end. But was there any kind of small moment that as a mom that you had during the trip that just kind of was like that snapshot of the trip? Not a big ride, not like the 5th ride on Guardians or anything like that, but just a moment you were like, oh, this is why I'm glad we got to take this trip. Something that was unexpected, or just a small moment that was special to you.
I think one that was kind of a repeated thing was like every time that we met a character, my kids, all three of them, even, the now 15 and 17-year-olds, they hopped right up and were ready to take pictures. And it was fun to see that they haven't lost that, they still love it. And I didn't have to, usually, you know how it is with teenagers, I have to like beg and plead, let me take a picture, have something to remember this. But every time a character came by, they just hopped right up there. And they loved they weren't really great at engaging a lot in the funny interactions. But we met the evil queen at the Snow White dinner, and it was so funny. And they just had such a fun time watching her interactions with my youngest. And so it was, I don't know, just so many of those little moments, watching them interact with each other and with the magic all around them. So
yeah, and when they get to that age, man, life gets so busy that you just don't get to have that time with them where life slows down and you get to just see them enjoying each other and enjoy each other as a family. And I mean, and life doesn't get any slower when you get back home after that either. So I'm glad you got to appreciate that.
Right.
Oh, well, thanks for sharing that. That's awesome.
It was a great
oh
trip.
my gosh, that's so great. Well, hey, got to do it again sometime. That'll be soon, hopefully. I hope.
Yep, for sure.
At the boardwalk, it sounds like.
Yes.
At the boardwalk, yes. Yeah.
That is
All right,
awesome.
thank
Well,
you.
Hey, you have a good week, and tell the kids we said hello, and thanks for virtually sharing their trip with us.
Thanks.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. And did she say her kid rides bulls?
I know.
Bull rider.
Just hearing that though, like that made me excited for my trip, man. I'm like 12 days out, Mike.
Dude, I'm so jealous.
When she said hoop-de-doo, that reminded me, like, oh, I've already prepaid for hoop-de-doo. We're going back. Like we went for the first time in, I think it was like summer of 22. Like we went that long, like with ever not going to hoop-de-doo, and we loved it. So we're excited to get excited to get back to the fort.
Hoop-de-doo is fun because you get to go to Fort Wilderness. There's so many reasons. Like I could list them. Just going to Fort Wilderness is awesome. The food at Hoop-de-doo is my jam because that's my kind of food. The show is awesome. The whole Pioneer Hall is just cool to visit.
The theater, the Pioneer Hall, like is what did it for me. Like the cool, like how the whole thing is set up. Like I didn't think, I was like, how is the seating going to work? And like your seat kind of like rotates so you can turn around and like watch the show. Like it was just cool. And when we were there at the time we went, like we were right in the front, like the banjo and piano player were like right next to us. So like it couldn't have been more perfect. So maybe my expectations are going to be a little high this next time coming in, but it's good. And like the unlimited beer and like sangria and all that.
You don't got to lean in and whisper, dude. We're all listening.
Yeah. That was a good time. And I'm really looking forward. It was like when we were going through our ADRs, we're trying to think, where do we want to go? Where have we done in a while? That's kind of how we like try to like, obviously you have like some favorites, but you want to like mix in things you haven't done in a while. And we're like, hey, like Hoop-de-Doo had a big impression on us a couple years ago. Let's do that again. So we're excited.
Very good. Okay, I got to give a shout out to my guest over at the Magic for Less. And I don't know if I'm going to say her name correctly because I've been working with her, but I never say her name out loud because we talk via email. I believe her name is Adele Maria from Norway. And let me tell you why I want to give her a special shout out. She is on the plane right now, tuned in, flying from Norway to Disneyland with her mother for their first trip to Disneyland.
That's awesome.
So we've been working on this trip for quite a while. It's finally happening. She lands as we're talking right now in about 2 hours at LAX to get to the happiest place on earth as we're talking right now. So as you're in the air, you're probably over probably Nevada or somewhere right now. So safe landing and enjoy the last little bit of your flight there. And just know that you're going to be at the most, it's so fun. You're going to have such a great time at Disneyland. Oh man, I'm so excited for you guys. So have so much fun. Welcome to the United States of America. And I'm so excited for you guys. Oh my God.
It's kind of awesome because I've been to Disneyland this year. She's going to Disneyland for the first time. You don't know this, Mike. Not many people do, actually. I'm going to be seeing Norway for the first time this year.
Yeah, you jumped that one on us. Yeah, totally. You're doing a med cruise, aren't you? Or is it not med, or is it going to be like a Norwegian?
Mike, I'm going to be doing 2 cruises. I'm doing a back-to-back.
Oh my Lord.
Back-to-back 7-nighters. We're going to go to Norway and we're going to go to France and Spain.
Whew, man.
Yeah. We got some crazy summer plans in the work for the gardeners, but I'm so excited to see Norway. I'm so excited she's getting to see Disneyland, like all these first, man. It's so awesome. I love it.
I do not know how you get that many days off of work, but I'm going to have to talk to you off the air to get to. I might have to come up to Michigan and get your job. That's all I got to say. Okay, we got a question over on Instagram actually from mbrown027. Planning a last-minute trip for spring break, thinking about doing Universal for 2 nights, followed by 5 nights at Disney. Never been to Universal. What are the must-do rides and restaurants over at Universal? I say E.T. I love E.T., but I'm just old and retro.
The Mummy for me, man. I love the Mummy.
Real quick, the kids are 6, 9, and 12. Yeah, I did like the Mummy. The Mummy was a good coaster. I enjoyed that one because it wasn't like too crazy.
Yeah,
but it was fun.
6, 9, and 12. That's quite the range because like I don't think the 6-year-old could do mummy, or I don't know. I'm trying to remember if there's a height requirement or not.
Yeah, the 6-year-old might not be able to.
It might be a little too intense too. Because but I love the mummy. That's my favorite ride at Universal.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too. I'm trying to think what else. What else I like? I liked Kong a lot. Is that still there?
I think so. Like they got the wrong group. We need like we need Ricky or Pam here.
We need Ricky or Pam or like Ben Lappin.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't book Universal.
I mean, obviously, like the Wizarding World stuff is really cool. I mean, there's some great stuff to see there, but like I just worry about like with that range. Like I don't think everyone can do it. I like the Men in Black. Like if you like Toy Story Mania, like over at Walt Disney World at Hollywood Studios, I think Men in Black could be a fun thing to do too.
That's there anymore.
Is it not? Oh my gosh!
I don't know. I maybe
I'm so not hip to the Universal stuff. It's clearly showing.
I don't know. I'm not sure. This is why I don't book Universal.
Maybe someone in the chat can give us a couple pointers because I hate to leave them hanging here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, 407-413-9395. Give us a call. 407-413-9395. To that story though about where other guests have made magic from the Discord because that was suggested. I love this. Maeve Dathuse over on the Discord. Got to be a fan of some band.
Oh, yeah, one of my favorites, that's for sure.
I said, "Don't crash into me, sucker." He said, they just showed up. I think it was for. I'm just trying to summarize because it's a bit kind of a long post. They were on their very first trip, and a stranger came up and bought their kids pins. Like just said, you can buy pins, like and let them pick them out and paid for them to get their first pins on their very first trip to Walt Disney World. And now they're kind of passing on that tradition each trip to somebody. So I
thought that was a cool story. I like that one.
Kind of cool. Yeah, I mean that's kind of a cool thing. It's kind of like, we've had people say, on the last day they'll buy a balloon and hand it off to somebody coming into the Magic Kingdom because you can't take it home, or buy a new balloon just to pass on the magic, kind of stuff like that. I'm trying to see. So like one of the people, June Mouse Mom, said they did the animation experience at Rafiki's Planet Watch, and the artist gave him his drawing with the autograph, and that kid thought it was just so cool because the artist gave the example autographed to the kid on his birthday.
It's very cool.
That's cool stuff.
Yeah, I love hearing stuff like that. When I saw that pop up in the Discord, I was worried you were going to ask me that question because like I don't really have any good examples like especially from like cast members. I mean, I love the cast members; they do really great things, but I don't know if like anything like in that magical realm like happens to us. Like I don't know about you, Mike. I mean, I know.
Well, Catherine, she just mentions, when her husband and I were on our honeymoon, we booked a regular room at Beach Club, but upgraded to a club level suite. Bring that on. I mean,
I've never gotten an upgrade in a room.
Yeah, I don't think I would have either. I think one time I got upgraded from a standard room to like bunk beds. I'm like, woohoo! I mean, not that I would appreciate it, but yeah. I mean, like, dude, dude, if I was 12, I'd have been over the moon. But I'm 6'3" and 42. Anyway, somebody else that's also tall and about my age, but he's in Nebraska. Right now, maybe he's in Hawaii. I don't know. He's one of the two places. We got Wade. What's up, Wade?
He's in Nebraska.
I can't keep track where Waldo is.
Aloha.
What's up?
I wish I was in Hawaii. So.
I can't keep track. I've been so busy this week. I've been on and off social media. I can't keep track.
Oh, man. We can still say aloha, though, right?
Yeah. Shaka.
Exactly. That's right. No, I don't think, you're just saying that. I don't think I've ever got an upgrade either, except one time we were Pool View Animal Kingdom, and I don't remember what we booked, but we went back there and said, is there any way you can get a Savannah View? And they ended up doing it. So I guess that doesn't happen very often, though, right? I mean, Disney books you in that category, and that's what you get. So, because they're usually booked with all the other categories. So, yeah. Never had to upgrade to concierge level or, anything other than what I get. So
as Charlie says in Top Gun, so you're the one.
I just remember like didn't Ricky say once like she had like a Coronado Springs room booked and then they like called her up and like, yeah, are you cool if we move you to the Grand Floridian or something like that? And like yeah. I want that phone call,
Yeah, Ricky lies. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. She did.
That's funny. I know they were for a while there, kind of the, I don't know, when things sort of started to get back to people traveling, that they were having challenges with that. They, overbooked at hotels. So like, hey, I know you're Pop Century, but you want to go to the Boardwalk or Grand Floridian?
They were.
But it didn't happen to me. I just heard about it happening.
Yeah, you'd be like, I'm going to book that All-Star Music and just hope I end up over at, I don't know, the Poly. Yeah, come on.
No, I'd be All-Star Music all the way.
I really want to say about the cowboy boot.
Right. Exactly. Oh man. No, I was telling you, I was thinking about this. Yeah, I heard, I think it was a Friday show. You're talking about, 10 or 15 years ago, when it didn't seem as busy, right? And there was a nighttime parade, fireworks. And I think maybe when you mentioned it, but I still go back to the parks are not open as late as they used to be. They have not got back to those 1 a.m., 2 a.m. extra magic hours. Now extra morning hours are 30 minutes, right?
Yep.
I think.
Yep, they are.
And that's fine. You get in and maybe you get one attraction in if you're there even 30 minutes earlier than when they let you in. But, and I think we've talked about this before. I've got great pictures of Shelly and I and the boys at 2 a.m. in the Magic Kingdom. And it's a blast. You shut it down and then you hope that everybody will sleep in a little bit the next morning. But I just think that would spread things out and even lessen the impact of what you see now when the fireworks are over or when the fireworks happen.
Yep.
And I know there was a staffing initially, but they got people, half those kids working there are college kids. And there's a lot of college kids. I've been to the apartment complex.
You've seen them.
It's bigger than some small towns in Nebraska or Missouri or Michigan.
Yeah.
But I wish they would get back to that. I really do. I think that would, on a nighttime parade, paint the night. Scott, I know you said it. I don't think, Mike, you've seen it, but what a great parade. If they could somehow figure that out, it would be awesome.
No, I agree. Because it was so magical to be in a park. Like it almost seemed like, back when I first started going, back when Paige was 7, 8, 9, there's a picture I have of her and I standing by the clock in front of the Emporium on Main Street. It is 3 a.m. It is 3 a.m. because that's when Extra Magic Hours ended, because the park closed at 12 and PM Extra Magic Hours were 3 hours back then. So the park closed at 3 a.m. She was like 8. But it was a summer, right? And so we just kept giving her sugar, because what we do is we buy her one of those like sugar sticks, and like in the confectionery, the different colored sugars, and she'd be going. But we paid for it the next day. But you mentioned one other thing, was that in the early days of our podcast, people would always be like, "What park should I go to? What park?" We'd always recommend that you go to the park. This is always our plan. Like you had to be careful. You fall into we called it the extra magic hour trap. Was that you would stay out to the PM Extra Magic Hour extreme. Like you would stay out till 3 a.m. for Extra Magic Hours at night. And then you would try to go to Extra Magic Hours in the morning the next day. You can't, because then you don't get any sleep. Like it would catch up to you so fast, especially in the summer with the heat. But the thing is, what you would want to do is you had to pick and choose, but you would want to follow up and go to the park at rope drop, to the park that had Extra Magic Hours in the evening the night before, assuming that a lot of people got their fill the night before because they stayed out late at that park. There were just strategies that worked really well for us. That, obviously aren't really in play as much anymore. They kind of are, in a way, like with, with extended hours and so forth. It's not as extreme. I think it was more in play back then, but you're right. At first, I think, 2, 3, 4 years ago, this was a staffing issue that was hard to get people. You got to pay. If you pay people, you can have as many employees as you want, and you could have that place open 24 hours if you wanted to. It's a want to issue, I think, at this point.
Yeah, I agree. We always tried to plan that next day would be, pool day. So
yeah,
if you wake
exactly.
up late,
or
matter.
Like a late breakfast, like a buffet breakfast, a character meal, and then pool day. Disney Springs later. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I really, really would. It would just. I don't know. I think it just seems like simple math that it really would lessen the impact, because the parks are busy. People are spending money. There's no doubt about that. They're vacationing. They're going. They're there. So what do? Okay, keep it open a little bit later. And I hope that they get to that. I also hope that at Epcot, when all the construction's finished for or Food and Wine Festival, they get back to the cooking and the mixology seminars, because that was something that was special too, that went away and hasn't come back.
And what you're mentioning, those are upsells, and those are expensive upsells.
Yeah, they had some great ones. I remember doing like a Macallan Scotch tasting. I think it was $16 or $17 with a DVC discount of a few bucks, and it was like a 45-minute seminar. You got to taste 3 or 4 scotches. Did it with another, I don't know, I think it was even a vodka or rum company, and then a baking exposition. It was just something you go watch. But there are the expensive ones where $100 you get to have a lunch and Parisian lunch or Mexican lunch or something like that. And those were expensive, but they sold out too.
Oh yeah.
I remember not getting into one of the Mexican ones, and I can't think of her name at La Cava del Tequila. I texted her, DM'd her. She said, "Call me, I'll get you in."
Hilda.
But
Hilda, yeah.
Hilda, yeah, exactly. Hilda. We had a good chat with her.
We chatted with her about that ice cube ball. Remember?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And those peppers.
The pepper. That's right. Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
No, I thought it was.
I really do.
Yeah, it was a fun conversation, because I can't believe it was that much more. It's that much more crowded now than it was 15 years ago at night. I guess maybe it is. I don't know.
I mean,
I wish I had numbers.
It's because people are trying to get it all in, because if the park closes at like 9, everyone's gonna be there because like they're trying to get their value in their ticket. If the park is open till 3, people are gonna come in later. Like people might not even be there for the fireworks. They might come in at 11, and I think it would make things less busy during firework time.
You know what though? That is true, because there'd be times we'd roll in like at 8. I mean, because we'd roll in like, roll right before the fireworks, and then we'd watch like the fireworks for the beginning of our night. We'd watch the fireworks, the parade, and then boom, do rides from then on. And it was in July. That's the best way to do it, because then it's
the only way to do it. Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
And people with the really small kids bail out, and like I said, you can have a lot of fun that last hour or two. Also, if you can make it. So
it's a riot. Like you're just like walking around, laughing with your family. You're on like the sugar highs or whatever you were just talking about. Like it's so much fun.
It is. It was some of the best times I ever had.
And here I am. Like I kicked off the show. Wade, I don't know if you heard it. Like we're going to be down there in a couple of weeks for spring break, and the hours have been 9 to 9. I've been watching the hours like crazy, and they just announced they're going to be open till 11 now. And like, I mean, that doesn't seem very late, but like, I'm super excited about it. At least I'm getting a couple more hours, but like, oh man, I just missed like those 1 a.m. dates.
Yeah, 11's great. I mean, that's better than, like you said, 9 to 9. I know Animal Kingdom can't stay open late. I get that. The animals have to, they have to go to bed at some point, right? As we all do. But I understand that. I understand they can't do fireworks. I think they could do drones. You just have to have a staging area to get the drones up in the air. But they have the lake. I would think they could figure that out. But stay open later. 9 to 11 is great. But if they threw one park each night that was open till 1 a.m., 2 a.m., Epcot, Hollywood Studios, what a blast. And I don't think you have to sell the park a second time either to do that. They didn't used to.
Yes, I agree.
Spread the crowds out. Like you said, Mike, you'd go at 8. You know what? That kept that park freed up a little bit more when you weren't there. And then you were there, then others would leave. But I know. Anyway, I don't mean to keep going on and on about it.
But those are great points. I mean, because it does. I mean, it keeps things more steady. Right. It keeps things, instead of like, it just keeps everything more level, and it would keep the guest satisfaction up. One park, and maybe just during peaks, like from say April to like, right before like end of August. And then you could cut it out, you know what I'm saying, until like Christmas or, right after Thanksgiving or something. It doesn't have to be all the time, but in high peak times, yes, keep one park open till, I don't know, 1.
Yeah, for sure.
Come
1
on.
a.m. That's too much to ask.
I mean, it's the biggest tourist destination in the country.
And not all the rides have to be open either. Like, so that's another thing too. Like rides do need to take breaks. Like you just can't have Space Mountain running all the time till like 1 a.m. So maybe it's like limited attractions too. And I would still think that would be a big win, right? Like maybe they close off even like a section, like Tomorrowland is like not open this night or whatever. Like, I don't know, because like you just can't have these rides operating till 1 a.m. and to be opening the next day at 8. Like they do need to take some breaks, but I think you can still make that work, you know?
I agree.
Right.
People understand.
Right. And rotate the parks too. I hope. And maybe I saw Beth's comment, I think maybe Communicore Hall at Epcot could bring back some cooking and drink mixology seminars too. I'm hoping when that construction is finally done after 14 years or whatever.
Exactly.
I just remember when the celebrity chefs would come and like Good Morning America would be like live at Epcot, and they'd be like do a seminar like live on TV. Like I missed that. That was so cool. Kind of reminded me like ESPN The Weekend back in the day when they would host like Mike and Mike from the studios. You just don't see that anymore. And I would love this. That's another thing I'm missing, right? Like Wade was saying with the seminars. I always get excited when I can see like my home away from home, like on TV from my home. You know what I mean? Like, without watching like a blogger or something. Like it was like on big network TV. I loved it.
Yeah, Wheel of Fortune would do like Disney Week or something.
Yeah.
100%. All right. Well, hey, go Big Red.
We can hope.
Yeah, and that's what we do.
Go Big Red, one tournament win. That's what Scott knows what I'm talking about. That's all I need. Once you put a lot of your happiness based on sports, you end up disappointed a lot of the time. But that's what one tournament win this year. That's all I ask for. So we'll see what happens.
Mizzou hasn't won a game that 0-18 in the SEC. Man, it was a rough one. But we got our spring football game next week, so I'm all football. So there we go.
There you go. Spring football.
Oh,
all right, guys.
See you, Wade.
See you, Wade. Aloha.
Take care. Aloha.
Aloha.
Bye. All right, Scott, that's going to do it. What a show. We had record numbers tonight. How about that?
There are a lot of people watching, man. I've never been.
Time.
It almost had triple digits.
I know, it's crazy. And I don't know. Maybe it was a time change. Maybe it was like, what are you guys doing on so early?
Maybe.
Why are you invading my feed? But hey.
And I even had like the microphone issue and all that. And like we still managed to keep all the viewers after that, Mike.
I'm on like 3 hours of sleep too. So we'll do better next week. We promise. But hey, we want you here next Sunday because we're going to do this again. It's 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central.
St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we'll have to have a beer on the live show.
I don't drink beer, but I'll have something green. I could have a margarita.
There you go.
That's green-ish. It's like, I'll have a margarita next Sunday night during the show. So let's do that and wear green. So we're going to have a good time but we need more calls next week. We had great calls tonight though. So we appreciate that. Great calls. And Idaho checked in. We had Louisville.
Yeah, I loved Amy's recap. I love the Louisville. We talked about a little Run Disney registration and all that too.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Mark's going to go to Disneyland for 3 days, not doing any fishing though, but still.
Well, I mean, he will fish at some point.
He'll find a way to fish.
He will find a way. We know Mark. He will fish. So here's the thing. We need you on the Discord. BeOurGuestPodcast.com. Join the Discord. I'm telling you, it is fun. It's like the old V Bulletin days. We're having great conversations. Good news is it happens all the time. It's 24/7. We have some folks that are in there in the morning, like our morning crew. We have some people that are the night owls. We have people that are in there during work. I'm usually in there kind of in the late afternoon and at night, but just swing in wherever the conversations all different conversations. So jump in, get in on the conversations over on our Discord. Of course, show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We're standing by to help you plan great Disney vacations, no cost to you. You know the details on that. Just go to themagicforless.com. When you shop on Amazon, please use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon, and you can support us on Patreon. That helps us out so very much. It's just $5 a month, patreon.com/beourguestpodcast, and you'll get that bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Give Scott a follow on the social media. He's at Epscott, EPSCOT, and he's put up some good stuff this week. Check out his Instagram for a trip down memory lane. Check out those Magical Express tags that he put up there today. They're pretty cool. They'll make you sad because I miss those days. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. Would love to talk to you on social media as well. And again, we'll have the shows this week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to keep you entertained on your commutes, runs, and when you're walking the dog and everything else. So we're going to get out of here and wish you a great week. So for Scott up in Michigan, I'm Mike here in Missouri. You guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Wow, we can still have everybody here. Nobody's going away. That was fun, everybody. Thank you for being here. Let me save this.
Sorry, I'm posting I don't think I ever posted my NBA experience pin. I got to share that one.
You have to. A live show. It was today. March 10, 2024. Edited.
I do love those. I thought I had more of those like construction pins. I must have them somewhere else because I think I had like 3 sets.
They're like in a little cardboard.
Well,
like
yes.
book. It looks like almost like a little
Yep.
brown book.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if Jared is listening, I'm sure he has some too, man, because I know he's a big Coronado guy too. Wade probably has some too.
Yep.
A lot of you probably all have them because that happened for like that was over a year, I think, maybe like 2
I think
years.
it was more than 2 years.
Yeah.
Like I have a bunch of them, and I didn't go that often.
And there's no way I stayed at Coronado that many times in like 1 year, you know?
Yeah. Oh, it was the time change. See, look, maybe we helped everybody over on in Europe. Maybe we caught Europe an hour earlier.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. But we had a lot of people watching, man.
So tired, but it was so worth it because there was way more people than normal. I love it. Hopefully everyone comes back next week. That make me so happy.
It was awesome. I loved it. And then I won't be here the next week because I will be at Walt Disney World. Maybe you can call me or something though.
I will call you because you're gonna be there for like what, 10 days?
Yeah. So, I changed the trip a little bit. It was going to be longer, but gotta say PTO, you know. So we're leaving Friday night, the 22nd, and then we come back Easter Sunday. So
You're gonna have a blast.
yeah, that'll be good. I'm excited.
All right.
Good old spring break, man. Those spring break crowds are something else, but it's fun.
Yeah, but you know how to you're not trying to like stand in line all day, so you're fine.
No, it'll be fun.
Like,
It'll be good. And I got keys to the kingdom.
Yes,
the Beth. Yeah,
it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, saving that. That's like our second to last day, so it'll be kind of fun. Something to look forward to, like that whole trip. You know, doing the tour.
Do you have like a good meal at the very end?
Yeah. So we have. As of right now, we have California Grill the same day as Keys to the Kingdom. I think I was joking to you, that's gonna be the most expensive day ever.
I was gonna say, oh my god! I was like, that is the best day and the most expensive. Yeah, bust out that shirt, boom.
Yeah. But California Grill menu is like hit or miss with me right now because the prefix. So we might change that. But then the Binnings come the next day for their spring break, and we're gonna meet up with them. We're gonna go to Flying Fish that last night, so kind of excited for that too. So
nice. I've never been there.
Yeah, it's good. I've been there a few times. It's like never like on the top of my radar like it is for Pam. I know Pam loves it.
Yeah, that's her favorite place.
Yeah, it's good. And I like how you got the Abracadabra next door now too, so it's kind of good if you want to do like a pre-meal cocktail or something, you know. So
with the Binnings, you will.
Oh, we will. Oh yeah, I'm excited to see them.
I'll say
they were supposed to come here next weekend, because Landon had a soccer game in Lansing. How random is that? Because they're in Cincinnati. But it got moved to the next week when we leave for Walt Disney World. So bummer. Yeah.
All right. Well.
All right. Yeah, I gotta go eat some chili, man. I can smell it. It smells so good.
Oh, chili sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I appreciate
good luck with the picture thing. Keep me updated. I'm very curious about it.
Back to Coles in about 10 seconds if it doesn't start working. I'm so mad.
Maybe Pam figured it out while we're recording. You know.
I hope because it's all those things. Like I'm so close. All I need to get. I've selected all pick. All I need to do is not say network error. Just show up. I don't know what else I can do.
Mike, I think we could just do this. It's like a phone call, and there's still 85 people watching. We could just
I know.
on a random Tuesday, just fire this up and hey, Mike, can I talk to you for a few minutes?
Exactly. We'll just call each other, and everybody can just hang out with us.
Listen to our phone conversation. I love it.
Yeah. All right. See everybody.
This is what we talk about. This is what we do.
That's totally it. This is me fighting my 15-inch photo frame I bought off of Amazon with my gift cards. All right. I'll see you later.
All right. See you, everybody. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.